What's up, guys? It's Jade back here again for another Teen Wolf related video, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 list for the top 5 best Teen Wolf storylines in my opinion. Of course, these are my favorite storylines in the entire MTV Teen Wolf series, so if you guys agree with this list, that's fine. If you don't agree, that's fine too. I'm entitled to my opinion. So with that all established, let's hop into the top 5 best Teen Wolf storylines in my opinion, of course. So at number 5, we're gonna have to go with the KANIMA storyline from season 2. Now, I don't know about you, but I found this storyline extremely interesting, primarily due to the fact that it included the whole Matt Delahair storyline too, with him being abused by the Beacon Hills 2006 swim team, and Isaac's father, Coach Leahy, and the whole him dying and coming back to life thing. I thought that was very interesting, and it was a very compelling storyline to follow throughout that season. I also thought the KANIMA Jackson stuff, although some of it could have been executed way better, I thought episodes like Restraint and Frenemy and Fury were excellent in terms of like the horror aspect of the KANIMA and what the KANIMA can really do when you put him in a environment that's very secluded, and it makes the KANIMA a very, very dangerous threat. The fact that it can, paralyze you, use its tail and blah, 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 and do all this other stuff to take you out is kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. And also the fact that the KANIMA is damn near invincible as well, because it literally survived getting shot in the head and just pulled out an arrow from the base of its temple, which was ridiculous to see. So yeah, the KANIMA damn near immortal as well, and invulnerable to all physical damage, from what we can see, at least, from Jackson being the KANIMA. And yeah, I just really like this storyline. I felt like this storyline was of course not the best, obviously it's number 5, but I thought it was a really good storyline for the second season to follow up the season 1 Alpha and Kate Argent storyline. So yeah, the KANIMA story arc goes at number 5 for me. At number 4, I'm going to give it to the NOGITSUNE storyline, the Void Style storyline from season 3 part 2. Now, back in the day, if you would have asked me where I would have placed this storyline, I would have said it's number 1. But over the years, I do find this storyline to be extremely, and I mean extremely, overrated by the fandom. I think it's good. It's not great. There are some doozy episodes, in particular the backstory episode with Kira's mom. I tend to skip that episode every time I rewatch the series because I just don't care. And that's a testament to how uninteresting the whole Kira shit was. Like, I didn't care about Kira or her family for, I didn't give a shit about to learn more about their backstory, didn't care. So yeah, the storyline's good. I like the whole NOGITSUNE thing, the fact that it's like a trickster spirit and it can possess people and cause all kinds of chaos and strife and stuff. It gave us some of the best episodes in the whole series with some of the best moments. But the storyline overall, I felt like it could have been wrapped up much quicker. I felt like it kind of dragged on a little while. And I noticed every time I rewatch season 3 now, more so than when I used to watch it when I was a lot younger, I noticed that I can watch season 3 part 1 in the Alpha Pack storyline in a couple of hours like this, but when I watch the Void Style storyline, I notice it takes me a couple of days to get through it because I feel like it kind of drags in some episodes. And the fact that we deal with the whole Malia storyline because Cora couldn't come back to the show, so they had to insert a new character out of nowhere, which was Malia. And we had to deal with that for the first 2 episodes of this half of the season. And then the NOGITSUNE storyline really didn't start until episode 15. It was just, I don't know, not my favorite, not the worst storyline. One of the best, but not the best. Definitely think it's overrated. So NOGITSUNE storyline goes at number 4. At number 3, I'm going to have to give it to the Wild Hunt storyline, also known as the Lowenminch storyline from season 6, part 1. This is the storyline that solely revolves around nothing but Styles and trying to get him back from the Wild Hunt after he got erased from existence, of course. The season as a whole, I feel like, is not as good as I used to think it was. But the storyline I very much enjoyed, because Styles is one of my favorite characters in the series, and a whole season revolved around Styles is always good for me. So yeah, and it also gave us, in my opinion, some of the best episodes in the entire show. Riders on the Storm, Radio Silence, Memory Lost, just fantastic episodes that are some of the best that Teen Wolf has to offer. I thought that the Garrett Douglas storyline was very good. I was definitely interested the whole time. And the fact that they gave him literally an entire episode dedicated to his backstory and, you know, when he was a Nazi, and explaining what the Lowenmensch was, because obviously in my previous videos I mentioned the Lowenmensch was a last minute decision for the writers team of Teen Wolf. As most of you guys who are OG fans of the series know, who have been fans for a long time like me, you guys know back in the day that Douglas was always intended to just be a werewolf, but then at the last minute, one of the writers on the Teen Wolf writing team looked up what a Lowenmensch was and brought it up to Jeff Davis and was like, can we add this? I think this is cool. And Jeff Davis gave it the green light. So that's how, you know, Douglas ended up getting switched from being a werewolf to a Lowenmensch. And it's why it's still confusing for people to this day when people are like, why does he refer to himself as a werewolf? It was because it was a last minute writing decision change. So yeah, that's why. But Douglas is officially known as a Lowenmensch. He's no longer known as a werewolf. So yeah, but also the Wild Hunt aspect of this storyline was very cool too. Of course, the Ghost Riders were built up and teased from the beginning of season 5. When Kira's family mentioned them in season 5, episode 1, and then the fact that we got them got it to be paid off here and finally saw them on screen, they were very intimidating. They were some of the most savage forces of nature in the entire show. I would argue they were even more savage than the Oni were, because the Ghost Riders just didn't give a shit at all. They would drag people across the floor. They would hang you. They would do whatever it takes to erase your ass from existence, and it was just very entertaining to see. So I very much enjoyed that aspect of season 6 part 1. And yeah, I just really like this storyline, and the fact that it's just style centric and we get a lot of nostalgic moments of flashbacks and just scenes that I think are excellent callbacks to the first, second, and third seasons of the show. I just really enjoy that aspect. So yeah, the Wild Hunt storyline goes at number 3 for me. And number 2 is going to be the Beast of Gévaudan storyline from season 5 part 2. Very much enjoyed this storyline, always enjoyed it, even when it first came out back in 2016 when season 5 was still on TV. This gave us, in my opinion, the best storyline of all time, which was the rescuing Lydia from Eichenhaus storyline. So you can kind of intertwine those two storylines together because they're all part of the same season, of course, even though they're two separate storylines, but they all still fall under the category of like the Beast story arc. So yeah, we're gonna kind of include those two. But yeah, you have the rescuing Lydia from Eichenhaus stuff. You have the who is the Beast aspect, which after a while kind of got dragged out. You can kind of tell it was Mason after a while. And I remember watching channels like Happy Cool back in the day, who were like big Teen Wolf episode reviewers, who would like do predictions and stuff. And I remember their video they put out which was who was the Beast, and that was a very big video on their channel. And I was like, bro, it has to be Mason, because like everybody seems like so clean except him, and they never show Mason whenever the Beast is around. So it's kind of obvious that it's Mason. And then when it got revealed to be Mason, eventually I was like, okay, we kind of could have guessed that. But yeah, although I think that was the least interesting aspect of the season, everything else is top notch. Top quality moments from beginning to end. That whole storyline is a roller coaster ride. It's never boring every time I watch. The only uninteresting stuff, aside from like the reveal of who the Beast was, is the Kira storyline with her and the Skinwalkers. That shit was god awful. I did not care about that garbage at all. I was like, bro, why are we paying attention to this? Like, y'all just don't know what to do with this Kira character. Can y'all just take her out the show? And they eventually did with this storyline, which was good to see, because yeah, they had nothing left for Kira, and she was pretty much a pointless character to keep in the show at that point in time. So yeah, other than that, great storyline. Always love going back and rewatching this one. And yeah, it's a number 2. At number 1, I'm gonna give it to the Alpha Pack DARACH storyline from season 3, part 1. This is my favorite overall story to just sit through and watch in Teen Wolf. Of course, you have iconic moments. Deucalion, his demon wolves, not really demon wolf, but full power Deucalion in his beast form, and all that stuff. Scott becoming a true alpha, and just that whole storyline as well. The honestly somewhat compelling Jennifer Blake DARACH storyline, that being present as well. Of course, the Alpha Pack as a whole, that whole pack was entertaining to watch, minus Ennis, who was the most boring member, I'm not gonna lie. And then just great moments with like Derek, Lydia, Allison, just everybody I feel like had their moment to shine in season 5. Oh my god, season 3, part 1 during this storyline, including Peter, which was cool to see, and Gerard too, who came back for like a little cameo in one episode, which was nice. And yeah, this is just my favorite storyline. I just really enjoy this, the Alpha Pack and DARACH storyline. I think it's really, really good. I think it's the best the series has to offer. It gave us some cool episodes. I think the only episode that's really bad is the Visionary episode, which you can really do without. You can skip that episode and you really wouldn't be missing much. And yeah, besides that, it's a perfect watch. So yeah, that's gonna do it for my top 5 best Teen Wolf storylines. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and set them to all when you do. Without further ado, my name is Jade. I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next Teen Wolf related video, which will be the top 5 worst Teen Wolf storylines. And that's going to be a very dreadful video for me to do. So make sure you guys stay up to date with all the videos. Peace.